Marla asked me to be here, and my first instinct was no, not to do it. But at the end of the day, I feel I owe it to Marla. I needed to be there for her and do this for her. It's been 10 years, and then you start remembering.
What I'm gonna tell you, okay? It's gonna be a little disturbing too. Alright?
He asked me if I knew of any reason why Larry would do this. And I had no idea. I never even thought of him to be capable of this.
I haven't told our story to anyone. It's time. It's time to tell our story. It's not my story. It's our story.
We believe that this is going to be a homicide. I'm sorry.
I wanted to scream. I wanted to hit him. I wanted it to just not be true. What happened, Larry?
I don't know.
If I would have known what he truly would have been capable of, there's no way I would have stayed. I married him and he took my world away.
I have 3 siblings, Larry being the second oldest. That's him. He was 6 or 7 here. Those eyes seem kind of creepy. And it's how he squints and they all just look black. Just the way his face has that. I see the monster in him now. Then he was just a kid. I never saw anything wrong with growing up. I would say he overreacted a lot, yes. If the spotlight was not on him, he wasn't happy. One day my mom and I went on a mother-daughter trip. We went out to the mall, went to the movie, went to lunch. When we got home, Larry's room was trashed. It was a disaster. He was angry.
Larry, what's the problem?
The attention wasn't on him. He needed to feel that he was the only one. My mom, she would yell. She'd be like, you need to clean this up.
You had better get this cleaned up now.
I'm not doing anything!
And Larry just flipped. He was screaming at her.
Shut up! You can't tell me what to do!
Larry, you can't talk to me like that.
She's nothing but a bitch, and just going off on her, like really belittling her.
If it's a problem, you clean it up! I hate you!
Larry.
My mom was shocked. Like, who do you think you are?
When I get back in here in 30 minutes, this had better be cleaned up.
My parents tried to punish him, but they learned very quickly that punishments meant nothing to him. Larry ran away. parents, they were both in a panic.
Anything?
No.
It's okay. I'm sure he's okay.
We called the police, filed a report, do everything they needed to do. And that's when the phone rang.
Excuse me.
My dad picked it up and he was like, "Where are you? Come home." You can hear his voice was shaking.
Are you okay? Where are you? I'll come and get you.
It was Larry. He was like, "I'm fine, I'm okay," and he hung up.
Larry!
And all that, so we had no idea, how to find the number, how to find where he's at. It literally was a waiting game. He needed to know he was in control still, even though he wasn't there. But he took it way too far. It had been a little over 24 hours. When he came in, he had a smirk on his face.
Larry, where have you been?
Nowhere special.
It was a game in his mind. He thought it was hilarious. He had no respect for anyone or anything. He did not care whatsoever.
Your mother and I were terrified.
Why?
Where are you going?
Larry was very manipulative. Anything to get the attention. And then when the running away, it didn't work, things got more serious. My relationship with Larry, I had always thought was typical sibling rivalry. We'd have our fights, roughhouse and whatnot. But with Larry, he would throw fists. One day, I don't recall what started it, but Larry had hit me, and the punch hurt. I was angry, so I hit him. When he was mad, his eyes would glaze over. He would just have this look in his eyes. I mean, and you knew something was gonna happen. He caught me, he hit me. I just curled up in a ball. He kicked me in the ribs with his boots. I couldn't move. I could not get up. I felt like a punching bag. There's nothing I could do to stop it. My parents were not home that day. I lay there until he had finished. When I could get up, I got to my room, I closed the door. I waited until my mom was in the house before I left my room. I thought my parents would know what to do. Beforehand, we never would have suspected it.
I understand.
But now, after seeing everything that's happened, like all you see is a monster. As we got older, you started to recognize, like, something's not right.
Mom?
Hi, Eddie.
There was an instance where Larry actually raised a fist to my mom. I went into my mom's room later on that night, and she was like, there was something wrong.
You okay?
I don't know how to handle him.
He would never apologize. He never showed any remorse. He got attention from it. And he liked it. It didn't matter whether it was positive or negative attention. Attention's attention.
No matter what I say, it doesn't seem to make a difference.
I remember she told me that she was scared to death, and she didn't know what to do. We just cried. My parents were trying to figure out what he needed. With 4 kids and only one of them's going off the deep end, they had no idea what to do. Through high school, he was angry, but he didn't do the destroying the house, the yelling, the screaming. He had an interest in witchcraft, but it grew stronger at this point. It was way more than Harry Potter. He would go down into the basement with his candles, and that was his area. The only time I ever went down into the basement was to do my laundry, and it wasn't very often. It scared the crap out of me down there. I just seen him sitting with his books, and, his head's down like he's reading, quietly plotting revenge.
That's good. Air, spirit, water, earth, fire.
He would go on about mutilating somebody.
The summoning evocation.
Sacrifice. No one would ever know.
My brother, my sister, that'll teach all. A demon right with a conjuring gin.
He had a spell. He could do whatever he wanted. I never believed in it. In my mind, it's nonsense. This is stupid. But he believed it.
That would work.
Larry got accepted into culinary school. It was probably a little over an hour drive to his dorm. I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy that he wasn't there. I was able to relax. But there was one night in particular. It was about 2 weeks into school. He cut himself. We met him at the hospital. He had carved like an upside down cross, like the Antichrist symbol, random stuff that he had carved in his arm.
I'll be right back, okay? Sit tight.
He wanted the attention, and he was gonna do what it took to get it.
How is he? He'll need to stay for a psych evaluation. We don't want him injuring himself any further.
And that's when they put him in the institution, the behavior ward. At the group home, Larry met another resident, and she became pregnant. I don't know what happened to her.
That's where that goes.
But they took the baby into foster care, and Larry had visits.
So good at that.
That is how he met Marla. It was Marla that changed him.
I was working as a personal care aide, and I worked in a foster home that took in kids that needed more specialized help. Larry wanted to get custody of his son, Larry Jr.
And so you're getting the hang of things?
Larry was staying with that foster family to learn how to parent. Seeing the things that he was doing with Junior and how caring he was and how much he loved holding Junior.
You're really great with him.
Nice.
I think that's what I grew to love, was his caring side. It was a whirlwind. I think we dated for maybe 6 weeks. That's when he moved in. He was very caring to the children. Trayton was 11, and Kendra was 8, and Alicia would have been 6. And I was raising them on my own when I met Larry. To see him reading stories with them, it melted my heart. My kids were finally happy. It was almost like being in an interrogation room.
Come on, Larry.
No. This is not okay. I am not alright with this.
He was a different Larry. That scared me.
He was doing good. He was working to get, his baby back, and Marla was helping him, and Marla was amazing. I truly believed he had changed, that he was a different person.
Hey. Kat moved in. She wanted a change of pace. And so Larry had offered for her to come stay with us. She had agreed.
Thank you guys so much for letting me stay with you.
Yeah. This is gonna be good.
I believe everybody deserves forgiveness and a chance. I was like, I'll give him a chance. He had a different personality. I no longer feared him. I could sit down on the porch and have a drink with him. He's working, earning money, like supporting a family. He was a different person.
Yeah, that's amazing news. Thank you so much. Bye.
Who was it?
The first time he told me about casting spells was the day we got the call that Junior was going to come live with us.
They say I can get Junior back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Larry, I'm so happy for you.
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah, and he had said that he had cast a spell the night before.
Yeah.
I can't believe the spell worked.
What do you mean?
And I'd never seen him cast a spell.
You never mentioned doing spells to me before.
I've been doing it since I was a kid.
He's like, no, seriously. He's like, I cast a spell, and this is what I had hoped for. He had this almost like amazement that the spell worked.
You know it's working when everything goes right.
Yeah. Listen, I don't want to tell you to believe in, but
I told him, you believe what you want to believe, I'll believe what I want to believe. But the rules that I had for him was that he was not to practice in the house, and that he was not to involve my children in any of it.
I just don't want you doing it at home, okay?
Yeah, sure.
You know, like, really, I don't want it around the girls.
We don't do those things. And he agreed. He agreed that he would not do them with the children there, and he would not do them in the house.
You know what? Totally fine, Marla. Okay, because everything is fine. Because Junior's coming home. I'm gonna go clean his room.
Larry's religious beliefs was more, to me, of a hobby. I didn't think anything of it. After the rehearsal dinner, must have been in the middle of the night, that I had gotten the feeling something almost gnawed at me. It was like, you shouldn't do this. You should cancel it. If you go through with this, something bad's going to happen. You will regret it for the rest of your life. But I tossed and turned, then I woke up, and almost like that feeling had gone away. He was pretty much everything that I wanted for my kids. I loved him. So then I just went on with my day. I went on and got married. It was a happy day. When my focus wasn't purely on him. He was a different Larry. It was the jealous Larry. One day, I was just getting home from work, and I was probably 15 minutes later than what I normally am.
You're late. Why? Wasn't it?
Larry thought I was cheating on him.
Come on, Larry.
It was almost like being in an interrogation room.
No. This is not okay. I am not alright with this.
What were you doing? Who are you with? Why were you taking so long?
You are supposed to be my wife. Start acting like it.
I am.
And you have to stop hanging out with the guys at work. Do you understand?
It's like we're just friends. Strictly platonic.
You are not going to do that anymore.
To Larry, it was a competition. My attention needed to be on him, and only him. It was probably a good 45 minutes to an hour. Nothing I said appeased him. It just continually went on until I finally just said, if you don't want me to be friends with him, then fine.
I mean it. Never again.
If it's that big of a deal to you, I won't talk to him anymore.
I love you. I want to be with you. And that's that.
Okay?
And then it was done. Kendra and Alicia's rooms were always a mess.
Look, I told you it's trashed.
I know. I'll talk to them.
Every time I leave, they make a mess.
Look, they're kids. This happens all the time, all right?
And he thought that all the rooms had to be completely clean and spick and span. And I was like, it's not your responsibility.
I'm tired of having to pick up after them.
Larry, nobody asked you to do anything, okay?
I was like, what part of that do you not get? I'm not asking you to do everything. And he just kind of shoved me. For him to shove me like that scared me. And that's when he said, I can hurt you in the worst possible way and not touch you.
I don't need to lay a hand on you to hurt you, Marla. Don't ever forget that.
I didn't know what he meant. When he looked at me and I seen that blank stare, it was almost scary that somebody could be looking at you but not be the person that you're looking at. It wasn't the Larry I married. The Larry I married never laid his hands on me.
Okay, then clean this place up!
That made me wonder what he could end our marriage. I loved Larry. I didn't want to put my kids through another divorce. I told him that we had to go into couples counseling. I would fight at all costs to keep what we had. Nothing was out of the ordinary. I totally missed that sign. How could I miss that sign?
I wish now I turned around. But at that point, I didn't.
Larry's jealousy started off with the different guys that were in my life, but then it became more. It was the children. He thought that the kids got more of my time than he did.
Got it? There you go.
Hey, where you going?
To movies?
On my weekends off, I would take the kids and go do things with them.
When are we gonna have dinner then?
And he'd be like, why do you get to spend this much time with the kids? You don't get to spend that much time with me.
I have not seen you all week because you've been working. Why are these two so needy?
Larry.
What?
It made him feel powerful when he was mean to the kids. Intimidation made him feel good. It angered me when he would show them that intimidation. Because that's not what a parent does.
They should be able to go play and give us at least a little bit of time alone together, don't you think?
Okay, you need to calm down. All right?
I was just like, okay, calm down.
I promise you, I will find time for us. Okay?
And so he just stormed out of the house. I couldn't stop his jealous rages. When Kendra got her menstrual cycle, she was 9. I had already had the talk with her, but he just freaked out. Now she's not going to be pure anymore. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's not going to be pure anymore.
She's not innocent anymore. She's not clean.
What are you talking about?
He was like, pure.
Look, you don't even have to be involved, okay? I'll handle it.
I'm not okay with this.
I thought he didn't want to have to buy the feminine products. It didn't cross my mind that her having her period had anything to do with his religious beliefs. I totally missed that sign. How could I miss that sign? On the morning of January 6th, Kat was sleeping in her room. Triton had stayed at my sister's the night before. Larry got up with me, and he went and started my car because it was a really cold day, and he had already made my lunch for me. He gave me a kiss goodbye and told me that he loved me, and I went to work. I didn't get to say goodbye to Kendra Layshore Jr. that morning because they were sleeping, and I didn't want to wake them up to give them a kiss goodbye. It was a typical day. Nothing was out of the ordinary.
So when I woke up, it was around noon. And I took my shower, got ready for work. Junior was laying down on the couch with Larry. They were getting ready to take a nap. Alicia was in her bedroom. And Kendra was on the computer playing her game.
Don't stay on that thing all day. Please go outside.
I will.
So I gave her a hug, said goodbye, and I left them. And I walked out the door. I had left my debit card at the house. And about halfway through my walk, I was arguing with myself in my mind, like, go get it. No, you don't need it. Just back and forth. But I kept walking, I didn't go back. I wish now I turned around. But at that point, I didn't.
I was called at work and said that my house was on fire. And the officer said, I can't give you any information. You need to go to the hospital. We get to the emergency room and just see his face. And I'm like, this is not good.
My name is Marla Harris. I'm looking for my daughters Kendra and Alicia.
Ma'am, you need to wait.
He's like, you need to call somebody to come sit with you. He's like, I have the chaplain on the way up. I'm like, I don't want to talk to the chaplain. I want to see my girls. And he's like, I can't allow you to do that. I want you to answer my questions. Are they dead? He's like, I can't tell you that. I'm like, how would you feel if it was your kids? You would want to know the answer. Like, that's all I'm asking. Please just tell me. They're dead, aren't they? And he said yes.
blemishes of your fingernails? Mm-hmm. You know what that is? That's blood. Yes, I know.
They didn't tell me why I had to go to the police station. They just said that they had some questions for me. And so I'm like, okay. And then the male detective comes in and he's like, is there anybody that we can call to have you come sit here with you while you answer questions? So then I call my mom. And I'm still just thinking that it's girls have died from smoke inhalation.
There were some things that weren't adding up. Smoke was pretty thick with the firemen, but their impression in finding your daughters is that this was not the cause of their passing. Okay? We believe that this is going to be a homicide. I'm sorry, buddy.
And then they started asking me questions about Larry. And if I thought that he could do it. If he could be the one to kill the girls. And right away I was like, no.
He's never harmed you. Ever.
I kept telling him, like, he's such a good dad. He would not do this. This is not him. And that's when they proceeded to tell me that Kendra was completely naked when they found her. And that Alicia had been naked as well. Of the girls, they both had something wrapped around their necks.
Do you recognize that belt? Yeah, that's his belt. Whose belt? Larry. That's Larry's belt?
And I knew the belt because I just bought the pants for Larry not that long ago that had that belt on it. Larry had taken Kendra and had slit her wrist here, all the way down to the bone, before he strangled her. And he had sexually assaulted her. And with Alicia, he had punctured her jugular and strangled her. And then he had sexually assaulted her. It really hit home as to why Larry was so upset about Kendra not being quote-unquote pure. It just all came to me that day. I was like, why? Why did he do this? I want to see him. I want answers. Before I was even allowed to see Larry, they told me that I had to keep my hands behind my back, that I was not allowed to touch him in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, I would be arrested on the spot. And I'm like, I looked at the officer and I'm like, you just told me he murdered my daughters. And you want me to keep my hands off of him?
What happened?
I don't know.
What do you think you don't know?
I don't know.
Well, what started the fire?
I don't know.
And I was just like, why? Why did you do this? Why did you rip our family apart? And he's like, I didn't do it.
Did you sacrifice the girl?
No, I didn't. I wouldn't sacrifice my own kids, son. I wouldn't sacrifice my own kids.
You can't even look at me. You can't even look at me.
I'm crazy right now. I'm crazy right now. How do you think I feel?
I was like, let me see your hands, because the officer had already told me that he had blood in his cuticles and on his hands.
From what I know, unfortunately,
You have little cuts all over your.
It was too deep in his cuticles to wash away. They were able to get DNA samples from it and know exactly who it was. It was Alicia's. This is Alicia. Her 3rd grade school picture. Alicia had an attitude. She didn't know her biological dad. To her, Larry was daddy. She would crawl up in his lap and she would let him read her stories. Those pictures of Kendra. She chose this background because it reminded her of being out in the stars and reading by the stars. Kendra loved to read. She's just so sweet and innocent. The thing I miss most is their hugs. Their I love yous. Their laughter. I just miss that. This is a picture of Larry now. Makes me sick to look at him. That blank stare. And he pretty much admitted to me that he did it. He said, I cast a spell, so I'm responsible.
How can we explain this to your wife? However you want to do. I'm at. What's the best way to do it? Tell her I was doing a spell and I f***ed up.
But he never once said I'm sorry. He never once said I didn't mean to. He knew exactly what he was doing. He had told me that he could hurt me in the worst possible way and not even lay his hands on me. So I know he knew what he was doing.
I kept walking, I didn't go back. Why didn't I go home? If I could go back, I'd protect those kids. I never would have left them. They were my life. I lost my world, regret marrying him, and I will for the rest of my life. But I still don't get what I did so wrong that he'd want to hurt me so bad. It's become a question that I will have probably no answer to the rest of my life. She didn't do anything. She was an amazing mom, amazing wife, amazing sister. She didn't do anything to deserve this. And it makes me angry. Because you don't know why. And you never will know why. If he can do that and have no remorse, what more is he capable of?